Have you ever wondered why that brilliant, successful, and seemingly self-assured friend of yours keeps ending up with men who feel like a Category 5 hurricane in human form? It's a question that has baffled people for ages, a paradox that even the great Sigmund Freud admitted he couldn't solve after 30 years of studying the feminine soul. We see it all the time, women who say they want a stable, loving partner, yet find themselves irresistibly drawn to the chaos, the drama, the thrilling, terrifying highs, and the gut-wrenching lows of an emotional roller coaster. As a psychologist, I've sat across from countless women, CEOs, artists, teachers, mothers, all asking some version of the same question. Why do I keep choosing this? I know it's not good for me, but the thought of a nice, stable guy just feels boring. It's a confession often whispered with a mix of shame and confusion. They know what they should want, but it's not what their soul seems to crave. The lazy answer, the one that often gets thrown around, is that these women must be insecure, naive, or secretly believe they deserve to be hurt. But after years of practice, I can tell you that conclusion is far too simple, and frankly, a little insulting. The truth is much more complex, a fascinating cocktail of brain chemistry, deep-seated psychological programming, and powerful evolutionary drives. To understand this craving, we can't just ask a woman what she wants, because as one brutally honest woman once told a friend of mine, "I don't fucking know, man. It's your job to know what I want." She was right. The answer isn't in the conscious mind. It's hidden much deeper in the subconscious, where our oldest, most powerful programming resides. So let's take a journey into that subconscious landscape and uncover why the roller coaster feels so much more compelling than the merry-go-round. The chemical hook. Your brain on drama. Let's start with the most primal level, your brain. When you fall in love, that dizzying can't eat, can't sleep, world revolves around them kind of love, it isn't just poetry. It's chemistry. A powerful neurotransmitter called dopamine, often nicknamed the pleasure hormone, floods your brain's reward system. This is the same chemical released when we eat delicious food, achieve a goal, or even use addictive drugs. In the initial stages of a relationship, every text, every touch, every shared glance triggers a dopamine hit, creating a state of euphoria and intense craving. Your brain essentially says, "This person is a reward. Get more of them!" This is the biological engine of passionate love. But here's the catch. Our brains are incredibly adaptive. This is due to a phenomenon called hedonic adaptation. Essentially, we get used to things. The intense joy you felt from the first kiss will, over time, fade in intensity. The constant presence of a loving, stable partner becomes the new normal. The dopamine spikes level out. Those thrilling, intense emotions gradually subside and are replaced by hormones like oxytocin and vasopressin, which promote feelings of calm, security, and long-term attachment. This is the natural, healthy progression from passionate love to compassionate love, a bond built on intimacy, commitment, and deep affection. For many, this transition feels like something has been lost. The relationship, once a roaring fire, has settled into a warm, comfortable glow. And while that glow is what sustains a long-term partnership, it doesn't provide the same chemical rush as the initial flames. A stable relationship provides consistent, predictable warmth. A turbulent one, however, offers intermittent, unpredictable bursts of intense heat. This is where behavioral psychology gives us a crucial clue. The most powerful way to ingrain a behavior is not through constant reward, but through intermittent reinforcement. Think of a slot machine. You don't win every time you pull the lever. You win unpredictably. It's that possibility of a win, that mix of tension and release, that keeps you pulling the lever again and again. An emotional roller coaster relationship operates on the exact same principle. The cycle of good times and bad, of intense affection followed by cold distance, of blissful highs and dramatic lows, creates a variable reinforcement schedule. The good times become the jackpot. The affection, the apologies, the moments of connection after a fight, they all trigger that dopamine rush you crave. Because you don't know when the next reward is coming, you become addicted to the game itself. The uncertainty and anticipation keep you hooked far more powerfully than a relationship where love and affection are a constant. This also explains the profound pain of a breakup from such a relationship. It's not just emotional sadness. It's a genuine chemical withdrawal. Your brain, accustomed to its dopamine fixes from the highs of the relationship, is suddenly cut off. This Breakup drug effect is why people find themselves obsessively checking an ex's social media or trying to get back together. They are subconsciously trying to get another hit of that reward chemical. The stability of being single or in a calm relationship can feel like an unbearable flat line after the intense peaks and valleys you've become accustomed to. The ghost in the machine. Your psychological blueprint, while brain chemistry explains the addiction, it doesn't explain the initial attraction. Why would someone choose the roller coaster in the first place? For that, we need to go back in time, to your childhood. Psychiatrist John Bowlby's attachment theory posits that our earliest bonds with caregivers create a blueprint, an internal working model for how we view relationships for the rest of our lives. This model teaches us what to expect from love, how to handle intimacy, and how we see ourselves in relation to others. If you had a caregiver who was consistently warm, responsive, and available, you likely developed a secure attachment style. You learned that love is safe, reliable, and that you are worthy of it. As an adult, you're more likely to build healthy, stable relationships because that's what feels normal to you. You see your partner as a secure base from which to explore the world. However, if your caregiver was inconsistent, emotionally distant, neglectful, or overwhelming, you may have developed an insecure attachment style. There are a few variations. Anxious preoccupied attachment. This often develops when a caregiver is inconsistent, sometimes loving and available, other times distant or preoccupied. The child learns that they have to work for love and attention. As an adult, this can manifest as a deep-seated fear of abandonment. They may become clingy or needy, constantly seeking reassurance that their partner won't leave. The drama of a roller coaster relationship feels familiar. The fight to win back affection after a conflict reaffirms their childhood belief that love must be earned through struggle. The highs of reconciliation are a powerful validation that they are, for the moment, loved. Dismissive, avoidant attachment. This style often stems from caregivers who were rejecting or emotionally unavailable. The child learns that expressing needs leads to rejection, so they learn to become self-sufficient and suppress their emotions. As adults, they are often uncomfortable with intimacy and may push partners away when things get too close. They are the ones who create the lows of the roller coaster, pulling away and becoming distant, which in turn can trigger the anxiously attached person's fear of abandonment, creating a toxic, self-perpetuating cycle of push and pull. Fearful avoidant or disorganized attachment. This is the most complex style, often rooted in childhood trauma, abuse, or frightening parental behavior. The caregiver is both the source of comfort and the source of fear. The child is trapped in an impossible dilemma. Come here, go away. As adults, these individuals both crave and fear intimacy. They want connection but are terrified of getting hurt. This internal conflict often leads them to chaotic, volatile relationships that mirror the unpredictability of their childhood. The chaos feels like home. This leads us to a powerful psychological phenomenon known as repetition compulsion. On an unconscious level, we are drawn to people and situations that replicate the unresolved traumas of our past. It's not because we are masochists who enjoy pain. It's because the subconscious mind is trying to fix the original wound. It's trying to go back to the scene of the crime and create a different outcome. A woman with an emotionally unavailable father who never validated her might unconsciously choose an emotionally unavailable man. Her inner child believes, if I can just get this man to love me, to finally see me, it will heal the original wound from my father. She isn't in love with the man in front of her as much as she is in love with the challenge of winning the love she never got. Her brain doesn't register a healthy, available man as a viable partner. He doesn't fit the template. The familiar pain of an unstable relationship feels, paradoxically, more comfortable and right to her system than the unfamiliar territory of stable, secure love. The bad boy paradox and the allure of the unknown. This psychological blueprint helps explain why the archetypal bad boy or jerk holds such a powerful allure for some. He isn't just a man. He's a project. He's a puzzle to be solved. As one woman memorably described it on a forum, the appeal of getting an asshole to fall in love with you is the ultimate validation. If she can get an asshole like him to fall in love with her, then she will never be unloved. It's a high-stakes gamble for self-worth. The bad guy is the quintessential roller coaster. He's often unreliable, cocky, emotionally unavailable, and commitment-phobic. but he also provides intense highs. His unpredictability is a form of novelty, and our brains are wired to pay attention to new and surprising things. He keeps you on your toes. A stable, predictable partner might feel like a merry-go-round, pleasant, but ultimately forgettable. The bad guy is a thrilling, death-defying theme park ride. You know it's dangerous, but the adrenaline rush is addictive. Many women are drawn to what they perceive as the little boy lost hiding beneath the arrogant exterior. They see moments of tenderness or vulnerability and believe they are the one person who can rescue him or unlock his hidden potential. This desire to fix or change a man is a powerful motivator. As humans, we value things we've worked hard for far more than things that are handed to us. Taming the bad boy feels like an achievement, a testament to her unique power to love. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, some of these bad boy traits might also be subconsciously interpreted as markers of high status or good genes. Confidence, dominance, and even a degree of selfishness can signal a man who is a survivor, a protector, someone with the resources, whether social or genetic, to succeed. Our ancient programming might prioritize these signals of genetic fitness over traits that make for a good long-term partner, like kindness and reliability. This creates a fundamental conflict. Our primal brain is drawn to the exciting alpha, while our modern brain knows we need a dependable partner. The roller coaster is often born from the tension between these two competing desires. When the ride turns toxic so far, we've talked about a craving for emotional intensity, but it's crucial to draw a line between a desire for excitement and becoming trapped in a genuinely harmful or abusive dynamic. The same mechanisms that make a roller coaster thrilling are the ones that forge a traumatic bond in an abusive relationship. A traumatic bond is a powerful psychological attachment a victim forms with their abuser, built on the same foundation of intermittent reinforcement. The cycle of abuse, tension building, an abusive incident, followed by a honeymoon phase of apologies, gifts, and promises to change, is the most extreme and damaging form of an emotional roller coaster. The periods of kindness and remorse become incredibly powerful rewards, making the victim believe the real person is the loving one, and the abuse is just an aberration. This is where the roller coaster stops being a choice and becomes a cage. The abuser often uses tactics of manipulation and control to maintain a power imbalance. This can include gaslighting, making the victim doubt their own sanity and perception of reality, holding the relationship hostage, threatening to leave during any minor conflict, creating constant instability and fear, loving jealousy, disguising controlling and possessive behavior as a sign of intense affection, emotional blackmail, using guilt or threats to manipulate the victim into compliance. Women in these situations often stay not because they love the drama, but because of a combination of deep-seated emotional vulnerability and structural constraints. Research shows that factors like a profound fear of loneliness, low self-worth, emotional dependency, and a history of prior trauma make a person more susceptible to these dynamics. This is often compounded by socio-cultural pressures, such as traditional gender roles that teach women to be self-sacrificing and to endure hardship for the sake of the family, or economic dependence that makes leaving feel impossible. They may idealize their partner, clinging to the hope that he will change, because the alternative, leaving and facing the world alone, feels even more terrifying. It's also important to consider the man's side of this dynamic. Societal Quan Mao stereotypes often pressure men to be strong, dominant, and emotionally stoic. They are taught that vulnerability is weakness. This can lead to an inability to manage their own emotions in a healthy way, resulting in outbursts of anger, controlling behaviors, or emotional withdrawal, all of which create the volatility the woman experiences. His own fear of being seen as weak or losing control can fuel the very roller coaster she is riding. Getting off the ride. Finding healthy excitement, understanding this craving for emotional intensity, is not about judging it. It's about empowering yourself to make healthier choices. The desire for excitement, passion, and novelty is not a flaw. It's a fundamental part of being human. The goal isn't to force yourself onto the merry-go-round of a boring relationship. The goal is to learn how to get those emotional needs met in a way that builds you up instead of tearing you down. You can get off the roller coaster of drama and step onto a grand journey of shared adventure. So how do you do it? 1. Acknowledge the pattern. The first step is recognizing your own blueprint. Do you have an insecure attachment style? Are you repeating a pattern from your childhood? Understanding the why behind your choices is the first step toward changing them. Bringing these unconscious patterns into conscious awareness diffuses their power. Heal the original wound. This is often the work of therapy. It involves grieving the love and security you didn't get as a child. Instead of trying to get it from an emotionally unavailable partner, you learn to give that validation and love to your own inner child. When you are no longer subconsciously trying to win a parent's love through your partner, you are free to choose someone who can actually meet your adult needs. Learn to tolerate stability. For someone used to chaos, calm can feel unnerving. It can be mistaken for a lack of passion or a sign that something is wrong. It's important to consciously reframe this. Stability isn't boredom. It's safety. It's the secure foundation upon which you can build genuine, lasting excitement. Create healthy excitement. A stable relationship doesn't have to be a flat line. The key is to actively cultivate novelty and shared experiences. This is how you stimulate dopamine in a healthy way. Explore together. Take trips to new places, try new restaurants, learn a new skill together. Shared experiences, especially novel and slightly challenging ones, are powerful bonding agents. Practice appreciation and gratitude. Regularly acknowledging what you value in your partner creates small, consistent bursts of positive emotion for both of you. It reinforces the rewarding aspects of the relationship. Maintain playfulness and surprise. Don't let the routine become a rut. Small surprises, inside jokes, and maintaining a sense of humor and playfulness can keep the connection fresh and exciting. Ultimately, the craving for an emotional roller coaster is a craving for feeling alive. It's a desire to feel the full spectrum of human emotion, to be the heroine in your own epic love story. But a true epic isn't about an endless cycle of drama and despair. It's about a shared journey, with its own set of challenges and triumphs, navigated with a partner who is your secure base and your safe haven. The most profound and lasting thrill doesn't come from the chaos of an unstable connection, but from the deep security of knowing you can face any adventure life throws at you, together. It's about trading the cheap, addictive rush of the roller coaster for the deep, soul-satisfying joy of a lifelong expedition with a trusted co-pilot. And that, I promise you, is a ride that never gets old.